everybody, welcome back to the Big Fella Stadium here in Featherstone for today's Kingston Press Championship match between the Featherstone Rovers and the Dewsbury Rams. Give you a rundown of the team news first of all, starting with the Rams. Her fullback is number 1, Ryan Fieldhouse. The three quarters are number 2, Dale Morton, number 4, Shane Grady, number 51 is Lucas Walshaw, and number 3 is Carl Price. The halfbacks for the Rams are number 44, Brett Seymour, and number 7 is Anthony Thackeray. In the front row for the Rams, number 10 is Ryan Hepworth, number 6 is Matty Wild, and number 8 is Stephen Nash. In the second row for the Rams is number 12, Scott Hale, number 34 is Luke Adamson, and number 13 is Aaron Brown. And on the bench for the Rams today is number 36, Nathan Conroy, number 24, Byron Smith, number 25 is Joe Farrell, and number 16 is Toby Adamson. One change for the Rovers, forced through injury. Unfortunately, Thomas Binns is out with concussion, so he misses out altogether. Will Sharp returns to the wing, and Jai Hitchcock moves into the centre. And one change on the bench as well sees Jack Ormondroyd miss out and Jack Bussey return. So Rovers line up at fullback with number 1 Ian Hardman, a three-quarter liner Ben Blackmore, Paul Sykes, Jai Hitchcock and Will Sharp. In the halves today, number 28 Will Milner and number 31 Remy Marginet, who was so effective at Odsal on Wednesday night. The front row also as you were on Wednesday night, as in Baldwin, St Ellison, Verlinden. The back three, Jamie Cording, Matua and Tim Spears. And on the bench, just the one change as previously said, Jack Bussey comes in for Jack Ormondroyd, and he will be alongside Alex Foster, Luke Cooper and Brad England. Please give a massive round of applause and welcome them to the Big Fella Stadium. And today's match referee is a Super League referee. What we've done to deserve that one, I don't know. It's Mr. Philip Bentham. Young Joe's not here today, so I'm going to be kind and say I've got female Joe. Joe, your thoughts ahead of today?
Yeah, well, I mean, what Featherstone Rovers need to do today, they need to back up that superb performance from Wednesday evening, don't they? And that will be the show of a real good team. Or that, if we can get 3 wins in the space of 7 days, that will really put us in a good position, won't it, for that top 4 place.
It certainly will, and it is important. The halfbacks on Wednesday night, so impressive in Milner and Marginet. A lot of people were talking about Rovers missing Cook and Moore on Wednesday, but you wouldn't have believed it based on that performance.
You certainly wouldn't. I mean, I must admit, when I saw the team on Wednesday evening, I did worry a little bit, but the way that they came out, and I mean, Paul Cook will have been putting his hand up, I guess, for today, but Andy Hay has stayed with Milner and Marginet, and quite rightly too as well. I think that they deserve to be first choice halfbacks for this afternoon's game.
Indeed, and the Rams are out. We're just awaiting the entrance of the Rovers. Rovers with a lot of injury problems at the minute. It's well documented. The loss of Andy Bostock, and Gareth Moore obviously also missing today along with Cook. But Rovers in such impressive form, especially if they can play like they played on Wednesday night, Joe. We're in for a treat today, aren't we?
We certainly are. I don't think Bradford were at the best, but I think that was partly due to the fact that Featherstone Rovers didn't let them play, to be honest, right from the start. Hitchcock blew them away with a fantastic try, and from that very moment, Featherstone Rovers never looked to be on the back foot all game.
Out come your Rovers. They're playing down towards the Post Office Road in this first half. They are going to get the ball first. Today's match referee is Mr. Bentham. So Rovers are going to get first use of the ball. Need to keep it tight this first 10 minutes, Joe. If we can get some points on the board early, let's do that.
I think so, and it'll be important for us to get as many points as we can in this first half, seeing as we are playing towards the Post Office Road and down that infamous slope. to get the points racked up would be good. Get a big lead for half-time.
So the Rams are going to be starting this match. It's Aaron Brown with the kick-off. And straight from the kick-off, the Rams have kicked out on the full. That's dream stuff for Rovers. We said I talked a lot about Dreamland on Wednesday night with the other Joe. That's the perfect start for Rovers. A penalty on halfway.
It certainly is, yeah. It's not the start that Dewsbury certainly will have wanted. They'll be wanting to put a nice deep kick in there, but it's just floated out on the full, hasn't it?
So Rovers, instead of starting in their own 20, are starting on the Rams 30. Paul Sykes taps that to Jamie Cording. Andy Ellis, of course, played the full 80 on Wednesday. Hey, he had a fantastic match.
Getting his 100th career try as well. Well done, Andy.
Of all the places to do it as well. And here's Baldwinson now. Rovers already into the 20 with tackles in hand. Ellis finds Marginet to Milner. Milner takes on that line himself. Rovers 5 metres away already with barely a minute on the clock. Ellis is going to go the short side. Marginet tries to spot a gap, comes back. Still going Marginet, but offloads to Milner. Milner able to offload to Ellis. Ellis for the line. Marginet from acting half-back. On the bounce to Hardman. Hardman offloads to Cording. Cording to Sykes to Blackmore. Ben Blackmore! Rovers have got the perfect start at the big fellas. It's Ben Blackmore as tight to the touchline as you can get, but he won't care. Joe, it's the perfect start. Featherstone Rovers 4, Dewsbury Rams 0.
Yeah, and it came from that Dewsbury mistake at the kick-off there. Did that put Featherstone Rovers in an advantageous position? And to be honest, it was a bit of a sloppy pass there that came from Marginet out to Ian Hardman, but Ian Hardman made the most of it, got it out to Cording, and we seem to have numbers over then. He got it to Sykes, who slipped it to Blackmore, who was just too strong and went over in the corner well there.
Indeed, so Rovers with a perfect start at the Big Fella Stadium. From the penalty kicking out on the full, able to get the field position, driving for the line. Baldwinson influential, Andy Ellis influential, but in the end it's Ben Blackmore as tight to the touchline as you can get, and a perfect start for Rovers. Paul Sykes has shown his prowess with the kicking boot over the last 2 or 3 weeks, with some excellent goal kicking performances since the Doncaster game. Kicked well at Hunslet, kicked well at Bradford. They'll be looking to back that one up today. There's the kick, it's drifted to the right though. But a perfect start for Rovers, Joe. Featherstone 4, Dewsbury 0.
Certainly is. Only a few minutes on the clock, and that's the almost perfect start that Andy Hay will have wanted for his side. And you must admit, when we were on that Dewsbury line there, we were really looking dangerous, and it was good to see.
It certainly was. So Rovers off the penalty from the kick-off already this afternoon. Get the field position, and now here's another kick-off from Aaron Brown. This one doesn't go dead. It's trapped by Marginet, who offloads to Verlinden. Such a big unit, Ryan Verlinden, and he's been in great form this past couple of weeks, Joe.
He certainly has, yeah. On Wednesday night he put a longer stint in, didn't he, than he did against Hunslet. Was looking a lot fitter, and I think match by match he's just going to get fitter, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Super 8s performing.
And another penalty for Rovers for a hand in, given by Mr. Bentham. So Rovers certainly on top in this opening 5 minutes. Again though, indiscipline from the Rams, Joe. The second time in the first couple of tackles of a set, turning over possession and then inviting the pressure from the Rovers.
They won't be pleased with the way that the starter Dewsbury Rams will they, but we're not complaining. You know, it's giving Featherstone a chance to attack again here.
That's through the hands, and it's picked up by Hardman off the floor. So a loose pass, the Rovers lose a bit of momentum. Here goes Tim Spears now. Rovers into the Rams 40 already. Ellis shows it once, he finds Marginet to Cording.
Bit of a suspect pass that from Marginet to Cordin. Looked a little bit forward.
Here's Baldwinson, though. Rovers once again up to the 20, and Baldwinson in these opening exchanges, Joe, is running in that ball really well.
He is, and this is going into the last tackle now, and they're running it.
So Rovers on that occasion unsuccessful. The pass from Milner drifting forward, says the referee. But if you're going to turn over possession, Joe, that's the place to do it.
It is, yeah. It's as good as a kick into the deep, isn't it? But I think maybe we would have expected a little bit better out of the end of that. That pass, like you say, to Sharp, just drifting forwards there.
Here are the Rams now with Stephen Nash on the 30. The first time I've really seen the Rams in possession. Chance to see what they can do as it's worked out to this left-hand side. Here's Ryan Fieldhouse now. Matty Wilde in it, acting half-back. Interesting to see a standoff in a hooker today for the Rams. Matty Wilde normally wearing 6.
Yeah, I think in the modern game, though, they do interchange quite well, don't they, in between that? I mean, Remy Marginet does that for us as well, but obviously feeling that he's going to have more effect there against the Rovers is Morrison.
So here is Matty Wilde now. He's going to kick from acting half. That's straight to Ian Hardman, though. Picks up no problem. And here's the return from Ian Hardman, Rovers player of the month of June, and he's been in fantastic form as well.
He has, yeah. He was both Club Player of the Month and Supporters Player of the Month, so that says something, doesn't it, that both Andy Hay and the supporters voted for him, and he's been putting some fantastic stints in, has Ian.
Here's Ben Blackmore now for Rovers, the scorer of the first try for Rovers. Here's Matua, takes on that line. Matua gets Rovers over halfway, still going. Matua tries to drop the pass off. The referee's wiped it. The Rams have got a hand to it, so Rovers on the attack. Here's Will Sharp. What a fantastic passage of play for Featherstone Rovers. Tackles in hand, and it's on the zero tackle off the floor to Tim Spears. Rovers are 8 metres out again.
Jay Hitchcock with a sublime pass there, wasn't it? Yeah, it's really exciting stuff. We're pressing in the the Dewsbury 10 now.
Blackmore skips inside, still going. Ben Blackmore takes on the line, is well held up though by Stephen Nash. Here goes, finds Baldwinson now. Baldwinson for a gap. He's still not scored a try this year, Jordan Baldwinson. Ellis, Milner to Matua, juggles it. Matua! That's fantastic try again for Rennie Matua. He is on fire as well at the moment. Oh, Rovers are really clicking into form at just the right time of the year. The ball offloaded by Milner to Matua. He still had so much work to do, Joe, but able to get over. Featherstone Rovers 8, Dewsbury Rams 0.
Yeah, that came off the back of Jordan Baldwinson with that strong run towards the post, like you say, seeking out his first try of the season. He's still on 0, but the amount of work that Jordan puts in more than makes up for any lack of try scoring. And then, as you say, Milner went in there, passed to Matua, looked to be juggling a little bit with that. I'm not sure what happened. Looked to juggle with it in the air. Regathered it and managed to go over strongly there over the line, just to the left-hand side of the post. So it's a fairly easy kick for Paul Sykes, is this?
Rovers hitting form early, folks. Really are picking up where they left off from on Friday, keeping this momentum going at just the right time as well, coming into those middle eights. And Paul Sykes with the conversion attempt now. This should be straightforward.
Dream start, isn't it, really, with only 10 minutes gone on the clock.
Certainly, as Andy Hay will have wanted this, and Paul Sykes has kicked that one, no problem. Rovers hit double figures inside 10 minutes. Featherstone Rovers 10, Dewsbury Rams 0.
Successful conversion there for Rovers by number 6, sponsored by the Boxman and Paul Sykes. That takes the score to Featherstone Rovers 10, Dewsbury Rams 0.
Dewsbury not in any rush here to take the kick-off neither. I think body language isn't looking too good for them.
Is it? they've just been hit by that whirlwind that Rovers have just picked up again. It's like they didn't stop playing on Wednesday.
That's it. We don't want them to stop playing like that, do we? We want them to carry on.
You can see the confidence across the team in 1-17 though, can't you?
Yeah. Oh!
Rovers between Verlinden and Marginet almost make a mess of the kickoff. Verlinden's the one who takes control, and that's a good return.
I think, to be fair, it was Verlinden's that he was the one facing the ball for the kick-off, wasn't he? And Marginet had no need to come in there. So, thankfully Verlinden came away with it and made some good meters.
Here's Spears now, plays the ball to Ellis. Here's Jordan Baldwinson. He looks alive at this opening 10 minutes, doesn't he? He's really taking that ball in well.
He is, yeah. And again, he's left off from Wednesday night as well. He started off where he left off and playing really well. He's Jordan at the moment. Had an outstanding season, really, with the Featherstone Rovers.
It certainly has. Ellis comes down the short side with Marginet. Almost through a gap is Marginet. Here's Ellis again. Now he's going to dink it for the corner. Is it going to hold up? It is, and the Rams back in possession with Fieldhouse. Not the expected choice of kicker maybe there for Rovers, but Carl Price with a boom. A simple pick-up from Martin Half has knocked the ball on, and Rovers 6 tackles on the Rams line, Joe.
It's a coach killer, is that, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I don't think Morrison will be very happy, or the rest of his teammates. Marginet had just nearly got a half break there. Hale did really well to pull him down. They gathered the kick. It was time for them to sort of consolidate and have a good set of 6, Dewsbury, but oh my gosh, that wasn't what you wanted to do.
Certainly not now, and here's Milner. Moves that ball out to Sykes. Sykes, that ball's come loose though. So Hitchcocks can't take the pass, and Rovers bum the opportunity, and the Rams back in possession. Yeah,
on the just sort of the 20-metre line there, Sykes offloading to Hitchcocks. Really, it was a bit of a hospital pass. I don't think Hitchcocks had anywhere to go if he'd have even caught it. It wasn't on.
And here's Dale Morton. We can finally see the Rams with a bit of possession now. Matty Wildy moves that ball out to Aaron Brown. Brown gets the Rams over halfway. Wildy waits again. That ball's inside with Hepworth this time. Through the hands it goes. Thackeray with a drop-off pass to Scott Hale. But good defence from Rovers to pin them down again. Thackeray attacked in half-back. Moves the ball out to Stephen Nash now. Here's the last tackle for the Rams. Wildy finds Brett Seymour with the high kick. How's Hardman under that one? The ball's come loose. What's the referee going to give here?
Offside, I think.
Offside, yes he is. Is he? Rovers were offside.
Yeah. Came off the Rovers player, and Marginet was in an offside position to pick that up. So Dewsbury with their first bit of attack here in the Featherstone 10 metres.
And it's Ryan Hepworth with that first drive. Matty Wildy waits. Finds Aaron Brown. Through the hands it goes now. Fieldhouse takes on the line, but is well wrapped up by Hitchcocks. Here are the Rams and attacking down that right-hand edge. Looking for the offload. It's Luke Adamson, but it's referee said no, you held. So Adamson will play the ball to Matthew Wildy. Thackeray moves that ball out to Seymour. Through the hands it goes. He's a big unit, is Lucas Walshaw. Takes 4 Rovers players to put him down. Seymour attacked in half-back. Finds Adamson. Sorry, Hepworth it is. Rovers defence standing up to the Rams at the minute. Matthew Wildy moves that ball out. Thackeray for the chip for the corner. It's not dead. That's come off the Rovers, says the referee. So it's going to be a repeat set. But Rovers picking up in defence, picking up where they left off on Wednesday in defence as well.
Well, it's goal line defence has been somewhere where we haven't been strong this season, isn't it? And I think Andy would be the first to admit that. We kept them out there for that set of 6. See how we can back it up with a second set of 6 with after this dropout.
Paul Sykes just in giving the instructions as to what he wants to do on this defensive set. He is going to take the dropout. It's a flat dropout along the floor. Taken easily enough by Fieldhouse. And here goes Ryan Hepworth with good defence, and the Rams are going to start this set on the 30.
Great tackle from Ellis and Spears there.
And here's Adamson now. Matty Wildy. Through the hands it goes. Seymour to Fieldhouse, juggles it. Here's Walshaw. But Rovers defensive again, looking good at the moment. Walshaw plays that ball. Here's Fieldhouse from acting halfback. Makes maybe 3 metres there. And Matty Wildy now comes in. Seymour through the hands it goes to Aaron Brown. Almost away Brown, but put to the ground by Rovers. It's the last tackle, so Matty Wildy. He'll find Seymour. Seymour switches direction to Thackeray for the corner. And Will Sharp just knocks that one dead. So it's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to the Rams. So far defensively, Rovers looking good.
Yeah, Dewsbury with a sustained bit of pressure on the Featherstone line, and they seem to be favouring attacking Will Sharp there to the extent that they actually switched the direction of play, didn't they, to get that kick away to his corner. But he's dealt with it, got it into touch, and it's a scrum on the 10-metre line.
So the Rams are going to get a third repeat set here. Rovers did a lot of defensive work on Wednesday night at Odsall against the Bulls.
In 30-degree heat as well, so it'll be interesting to see how much that's taken out of them.
Here are the Rams again then. Seymour drops the pass off to Fieldhouse. But Rovers, Baldwinson in the tackle along with Ellis. Matty Wildy moves that ball inside to Steve Nash. Switch of direction, Seymour is held up. Wildy waits. And here's the running from Scott Hale. But Rovers defensive again, looking strong. Wildy. Through the hands of Brown it goes. Thackeray dances away from 3, 4, still going. Thackeray is well wrapped up in the end by, of all people, the players of Monty and Hardman. Wildy. Oh, that's on the bounce. So that's the last tackle, the offload away. What's the referee going to say here? Rovers defence absolutely outstanding, Joe. Forcing the mistake and forcing the turnover.
It was good, was that? Valinden holding up the man over the line there. And that tackle there, Hitchcox and Matua were quickly out of the line, weren't they, to make sure that on the last tackle that the Dewsbury player had nowhere to go.
We're going to see the introduction of Luke Cooper moment. Here he comes as Ryan Valinden makes his way off. A great stint for Valinden. And we all know what Luke Cooper can bring after Wednesday night, Joe. He was fantastic as well.
It was. It's great to see Luke Cooper getting into the first team regularly now, isn't it? And somebody who's come through the ranks at Featherstone Rovers as well. It's great, always great to see young players coming in like that.
Such an aggressive runner as Luke Cooper. Gets Rovers up to halfway there. Ellis comes right, it's Marginet with an early kick. Has Carl Price under this one? Able to take that one well, but good defence from Blackmore and from Paul Sykes.
Yeah, it was a good chase from Ben Blackmore, that wasn't it? It made sure that Carl Price was under pressure when he took that kick.
Here are the Rams then, trying to work out from their own half. Rovers in control at the minute with 18 and a half minutes on the clock. The Rovers in front by 10 points to nil as Wildy puts a kick in from acting half. It's not got the angle for the bounce. So Hardman wanted it to run dead, it hasn't. So has to return it. You could see that's one option that Matty Wildy though does bring at acting half, Joe. It's the early kick from dummy half to try and get the quick possession for the Rams.
It is, certainly is, and I think Hardman was looking, it was a cheeky bounce, wasn't it? Hardman was looking for it to go dead, and here's Hitchcock's take it up to halfway line there. That was a great run from him.
It certainly was, and here's Tim Spears now over halfway. Cooper again with a great offload there to Baldwin. Soon makes another 5 metres out of it. Ellis waits. Going to come down the short side. Here's Marginet again. That's going to be out on the full though, so not the right option for Rovers. He held a hand up in apology. But a couple of times, Joe, Rovers kicking early in the tackle count as well.
It was on the last tackle, that one, I think, and yeah, Remy just sliced it, didn't he? He got it completely wrong, that one, and hopefully he'll get it right for next time.
Toby Adamson is on for the Rams, and we're also going to see the unmistakable figure of Joel Farrell. Here are the Rams now. Morton up to the Rovers 40. Thackeray finds Seymour. Here's Farrell. You can see the connection between Thackeray and Seymour. They're looking impressive, working well together at the minute.
They are, yeah. Seymour's especially looking dangerous, but equally the Featherstone defence is looking solid at the moment as well.
Here's Thackeray with a dink over the top again towards Sharp. Takes that one superbly and almost away, but good defence from the Rams to pin him back. And here goes Ian Hardman now, looking to get away, gets centre field. A run reminiscent to the days of Carl Gibson there. I remember Carl Gibson doing that a few times.
Yeah, bit of a suspicion of him being tackled in the air after I watched that again, but I think he pulled out of it, did the Dewsbury player, so the ref didn't give anything, he said play on.
Here's Will Sharp now. Rovers up to the 30. As Jack Bussey comes on for Tim Spears. And that's a great run. Absolutely outstanding from Jack Bussey. What an introduction to the game, and here's Marginet looking to turn Carl Price round, which he does. And that is a fantastic chase on Carl Price.
Marginet chasing his own kick, yeah. Marginet chasing his own kick there. He got it a lot better that time, the kick. Turned Carl Price around, came chasing. But what about that run from Jack Bussey there? That's the way to come on the field, isn't it?
It certainly is. And here are the Rams now. Seymour, a looping pass to nobody in particular. The Rams are looking very disjointed at the moment, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They're finding it difficult to get away through this Featherstone defence. I think that's what it is.
And a forward pass. A forward pass is given. I have to say, it did look forward from here. Mr. Bentham looked to his touch judge, and the touch judge is the one who gave it. So the Rams turn over possession just inside their own 30. And with 22 minutes on the clock, Joe, a chance for Rovers to get some more points here.
It is, like you say, Dewsbury attack looks in disarray, doesn't it, at this moment in time. They're looking very disjointed, not really sure, they're not talking to each other, and Featherstone are looking confident.
Marginet looking to dance away from two, still going! Remy Marginet, what a run! Tackled in the end by Toby Adamson, and that's a penalty. Toby Adamson holding on too long. That was outstanding from Marginet.
I just love what Remy Marginet does, ducking and weaving, and his air of unpredictability is great to watch. For that alone, he should be in the team.
First run there from Baldwin. Ellis finds Cooper now. Cooper held just 3 metres short of that line. Ellis finds Marginet again. Marginet with a drop-off pass to Cording. Comes back inside, gets the offload away to Hardman. Hardman with a drop-off pass to Matua. Back to Cording. Marginet. Where's the support for Marginet? That's good defence. But you can see the confidence oozing through this side at the minute.
Yeah, Marginet's just injured there. He got dumped on the floor, didn't he, there by Brett Seymour onto his back. I think he got winded a little bit. But yeah, the way that the passing was going from side to side. But I think we should give equal praise to the Dewsbury defence as well.
Oh, what an offload from Matua to Milner. A good effort from a kick from Milner. But in the end, it's well taken by Thackeray. He wants a penalty. He's not going to get one.
I think Mr. Bentham's saying you can sit there all day, mate, asking for a penalty.
But credit, as you say, to the Rams defence. Rovers working that ball so well, Joe, but unable to unlock that door.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Milner kick, Thackeray was equal to it, weren't he, and took it well.
As Joel Farrell bombs one It's knocked on by Joel Farrell.
Might give a Dewsbury head and feed
steal.
here, I'm not sure.
Knocked out by Rovers, says the referee. It's a one-on-one.
Yeah. I think he's got it right as the ref there. As Farrell was going in, it was knocked out of his hands, wasn't it, as he went in, and the way it bounced out, you could tell that it had been knocked out on purpose in the tackle, and that's why the ref's given the head and feed to Dewsbury at this scrum.
Toby Adamson is down, receiving treatment in the scrum. So time is called off with 15 minutes left in this first half. What an opening 25 minutes we've been. 2 tries in the opening 10 minutes from Ben Blackmore and Rennie Matua. Paul Sykes converting one. Joe, it's been fast and furious, hasn't it?
It has been fast and furious. It's gone very quick as well, hasn't it? Because of that, I think we ought to be looking to get another couple of tries before half time. Like I say, we are going downhill, and just through the amount of pressure that we've had as well, it'd be good to get another couple of tries on that board.
Here's Farrell for the Rams. The Rams working down this left-hand side then. With Baron Smith plays that ball to Nathan Conroy. Joel Farrell comes in, acting half-back. Through the hands it goes as Seymour. That's a pass out, Aaron Brown. Fieldhouse attacked in half-back. Thackeray now. That ball's put to ground by Shane Grady. It's just not going for the Rams, is it, at the minute?
It certainly isn't, no. It's there were some half-promising build-ups for Dewsbury there, some nice offloads, and you thought, oh, they're building something together here. But again, Featherstone tacklers are up on them really quickly, and they're forcing these errors, and they're having to force those passes to get past the Featherstone defence.
We're going to see the introduction of Alex Foster for Rovers momentarily. Ellis out of scrum feeds Ben Blackmore. Has moved more into central field, and Jordan Baldwinson's the one who's coming off for Alex Foster. Will Alex Foster go into the front row then?
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it? And I think Baldwinson's deserved that rest. He's put a lot of metres in and a lot of tackling in that period of time that he's been on.
Jack Bussey. Looks like Jack Bussey's another option to go in the front row, of course, and Alex Foster can move into second row.
Yeah. I think that's probably what will happen. He's much more effective in the second row, I think, is Alex Foster.
Here's Martineau. Paul Sykes with the kick. Again, it turns Fieldhouse round, and there's the Rovers chase, and it's a good chase. I'll tell you something, Joe, I've noticed about the Rams. Remy Martineau was so influential in that first 10 minutes. The Rams seem to have targeted him more now and closing him down a lot quicker.
They certainly are, yeah, and that's probably why we went to Paul Sykes there for the kick as well, looking at Martineau. And also, don't forget, Martinet's feeling the effects of that injury, I think, as well, so he's probably just taking a bit of time out.
Rovers have got the ball. Put down by the Rams. It was an option on the free play. Once again, it's Joel Farrell who's put it down.
This time it was a knock-on. So, Rovers with a scrum here, just short of the Dewsbury 30 metres. Rovers in a good position.
It's taken...
Oh, hold on.
It's taken the scrum because Rovers kicked for touch. It's saying that the bigger advantage to Rovers is a scrum on a 10. Because Carl Price took the ball out, from the kick, he picked it up in the field of play and took it out. And because it's that was the free play, Phil Bentham showing great refereeing there to say that was on the free play, the ball was live, it's taken the scrum on the 10, Joe.
Yeah, Carl Price didn't really need to take it out there, did he? I think his better option would have been to bring it in the field, and perhaps he forgot about the rules of the free play as well, I think. So even more of an advantageous position that Featherstone are in on the 10-metre line.
Indeed, here's Cooper. Runs that ball in so well, does Luke Cooper. Such a threat in that front row. Ellis, Marginet, Hardman. Looks for the offload to Sykes, but great defence again. Andy Ellis goes himself.
Went into a bit of a brick wall there, didn't he? Dewsbury brick wall.
Cording attacked in half-back, finds Marginet. Marginet to Jack Bussey.
Bit of a dubious pass that, I think.
Not probably the best option either, maybe, as well, to Bussey, but here's Marginet again. He'll dink one through.
Lovely.
Oh! It's Jamie Cording! Carl Price with an absolute howler. It was a kick from Remy Marginet. Carl Price, I think he was trying to maybe knock the ball dead. All he managed to do instead was knock the ball back into the field of play. Straight into Jamie Cording, able to drop on the ball, Joe. And that's a gift of a try. Rovers stretch out again. Featherstone 14, Dewsbury 0.
It certainly is a gift of a try, but Marginet took the wrong option, didn't he? Passing to Bussey, we felt a bit of a suspect pass, but on the next play it came back to him and he did take the right option there, did Marginet. Carl Price is a big bloke to get down to those kind of kicks along the floor, and he really struggled getting down to it, didn't he? Sort of just patted the ball there. Jamie Cording pounced on it. It was in there very quickly, wasn't it? A touchdown over the line and stretch Rovers lead even further to 14-0.
We wanted more tries before half-time. There's one of them, Joe. Another one will be very nice in the last 10 minutes. But Rovers stretching that lead out. They're in control that way at the minute.
They certainly are in control, and we have seen this at Post Office Road earlier this season, haven't we, where we've been in control. What we need to do is continue with this in the second half as well.
So Paul Sykes, 1 from 2 so far this afternoon. This one's about 10 metres in from touch, a lot easier than the first one he missed, one would think. There's the kick, it's straight between. Oh, you see?
No, it's not.
It's not. Off the upright. I thought it had gone off the upright and in. It's gone off the upright and back out. So Paul Sykes hasn't brought his boots this afternoon, but Rovers have a 14-0 lead, Joe.
Yeah, it looked as though it was going to go in that, and all of a sudden it hit the post, and unfortunately it bounced off the post at the wrong angle and came back out there. So yeah, 14-0. Could have been 16, but no, 14-0 with just under 10 minutes remaining.
There's the kick-off. Bounces once and Marginet takes it. Here's Luke Cooper. Jack Bussey now. So it looks like Bussey and Cooper are the two front rowers at the minute, getting through a lot of work between them as well.
Yeah, that's what you'd expect, isn't it, that those two will be there.
Ellis waits, he taps in half-back. He'll move that ball inside again to Cooper. Cooper takes on the lines. No fear in him, is he? He'll take on anybody, won't he, Luke Cooper? Showed that on Wednesday night. He's showing it again here today. Foster out the back door to Will Milner. Throws an outrageous dummy and takes on that line. Got so many forwards who've got great ball playing skills as well, haven't we, in that second row and front row?
We have, yeah. That's a decent kick, is that?
Ryan Fieldhouse, I think, fancied that might have been a 40-20, passing it back in field.
Yeah, going back to your forwards, we've got forwards that can take the ball in really hard, but also we have got some that have delicate passes between them as well, and we saw that in the first half, didn't we, between Cooper and Baldwinson.
And you look at the likes of Rennie Matua, who's got great ball handling skills as well, and so strong going forward. But here are the Rams with Byron Smith just short of halfway. It's a run from acting half-back and an offload to nobody. So Rovers once again in possession. Here's Hitchcox. Hitchcox with a half break. He's so dangerous when he takes that line on that left-hand edge.
He's another one who's very strong as well. What's a shame.
Alex Foster can't take that ball in.
Yeah.
So we're on a free play. Walshaw always dumped to the ground by Ben Blackmore, who then concedes a penalty.
Yeah, Blackmore did well there. He got Walshaw on his, on his back, but he just had to have another little go, and Bentham wasn't standing for that. He's given the penalty. No need for him to do that, really, Blackmore. He'd done the hard work.
Farrell with an offload of the ball came loose in possession. Fortunately, again for Farrell, he went backwards this time. Don't seem to hold on to the ball very well, does he? I think there's 2 or 3 times.
To be fair, though, it was a really hard tackle on him.
Here the Rams are through. Rams are through. It's Toby Adamson. The Rams are over with Toby Adamson. A great run, a great line through the gap. The Rams are on the scoreboard. What Rovers didn't need is that. Featherstone Rovers 14, Dewsbury Rams 4.
Yeah, it was not against the run of play, really, that wasn't it? And came from that free play where Ben Blackmore tackled Walshaw well, and then just ended up giving the penalty away. Little bit of indiscipline there, and Farrell got the ball knocked out of his hand. They came up with it, and Adamson went through there, and he's passed. Is that his brother, Toby Adamson? I think it is, isn't it? And passed to him and gone through the gap and scored. Adamson to Adamson.
2 Adamsons on the field could make it interesting for us up here in the commentary box. But with 6 minutes left on the clock, it's just what the Rams needed to get them in this game just before half-time. Rovers will be bitterly disappointed with that one, though, Joe.
Yeah, I think they'd have been wanting to keep them scoreless, and they've just kicked the goal there as well, haven't they? So that makes... Yeah, so Seymour kicking the conversion there, so that's 14-6, and just giving Dewsbury that little glimpse of hope that shows that the Featherstone defence is... it can be broken, and certainly not what we'd have wanted just before half-time, like you say, with 5 minutes to go.
We talked about having 2 scores before half, a couple of tries before half-time, another one would be nice, very nice now. But more importantly, we have to keep the Rams out. We can't let them get back to within 2 points.
No. And when you think of the amount of possession that Featherstone have had in this half, that's how much against the run of play that was. And the 14-6 scoreline doesn't reflect the way that the game has gone.
Fieldhouse takes that ball just and offloads to Adamson. And the Rams' tails are up.
Forward.
Once again, it's Joel Farrell. Martinet from the free play is taken out by Carl Price. Blackmore is over, is he? No, he's not. It's going to right. An awful lot to figure out here, Mr. Bentham. First of all, we've got the knock on, then Martinet picked up. He was taken out after the kick. Then we've got a second knock on from Rovers. Figure that one out, Joe.
Yeah, I think that there could have been a penalty there with Marginet. It did seem to be taken now after he'd kicked the ball, didn't he? But Mr. Bentham's brought it back for... Oh, we've got a push at the scrum now. But Mr. Bentham's brought it back for that first knock-on by Joel Farrell, who, what was he doing? Throwing the ball like that on his own 20.
Joel Farrell is having an absolute nightmare for the Rams at the minute. Here's Marginet attacked in half. As Brad England is on for Rovers. Another player has come into the team from the reserves, and he's having great form at the minute. Milner offloads to Matua. Just under 4 minutes on the clock. Foster looking for the offload, it wasn't there, sorry. Here's Jack Bussey. Milner tries to get through a gap. What a step from Milner! That is a real quality try. Will Milner showing the presence of mind through an outrageous dummy. And the seas passed, but what a step it was. And Rovers, we wanted another one before half time. We've got one. Featherstone Rovers 18, Dewsbury Rams 6.
Yeah, there's a bit of a messy play of the ball, and the Dewsbury player almost got it from the acting halfback position, but Jack Bussey managed to regain it. Went a little bit to the side, eventually came out to Milner, and he gave a lovely sidestep, didn't he, to go through that gap and dance on, well, just to the side of the posts.
Just while Rovers is taking the positions back on halfway, Ben Blackmore is receiving treatment. Looks like a possible injury to his right ankle, or certainly his right leg.
I think he injured himself when he was going for that free play ball when he just managed not to touch it down.
That's the option. We talked about the options Rovers having the 3 quarters. If Blackmore does have to go off, you fancy it'd just be a case of maybe switching Hitchcock's out to the wing where Blackmore is now, and maybe drop Cordin back into centre.
Possibly, yeah. There's always that option, isn't there? But we'll see how Blackmore goes. He's strapped up. He looks to be okay. He's walking quite freely now.
As Paul Sykes converts his second goal of the afternoon.
A successful conversion there for Rovers by number 6, sponsored by the Cox family.
Featherstone Rovers 20, Dewsbury Rams 6, and 90 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and as you said before in that play that just was leading up to Milner's try, Brad England's been introduced onto the field, hasn't he? It looks like he's replaced Andy Ellis. So Andy Ellis doing nearly 120 minutes of rugby.
He's certainly got through a lot of work on Wednesday night. He was outstanding. He's been outstanding again today. Martinet again looking to try and take control from the kickoffs. That's the second time he's done that. Knocks that one backwards and finds Verlinden, but it seems to want to be everywhere, doesn't he, Martinet, at the minute?
Certainly does. I think it was Brad England there, weren't it, that he found? And Martinet, he made sure he was facing his own post, thankfully, then when he made a little bit of a fumble there from the kickoff.
So here are Rovers and looking to work out from their own 20. It's good defences from the Rams. Martinet again now. Through the hands it goes. Here's Milner. He's having a wow of a game again. With the half-backs, his last game and a half, Joe, have been absolutely sensational, haven't they?
They have. This is, unlucky. That was almost a fantastic break there. Martinet came with a lovely pass to Hitchcock, who tried a round-the-back pass to Will Sharp. Unfortunately, it was just behind Will Sharp. Possibly an indication that these two aren't used to playing with each other out on the centre and wing partnership. But yeah, if that had come off there, Will Sharp would have been away down the touchline to score, I'm sure of it.
So Rovers turn over possession, but they've got a good enough lead to try something like that so close to half-time. Less than a couple of minutes on the clock now. It's been reset. So Rovers just need to keep tight here. Nothing silly, no penalties. They've got the advantage. And here's Byron Smith now. Keep your discipline, keep the Rams out, get possession back, and then go into the sheds with a 14 lead. Joel Farrell again.
He's having some big hits today, is Joel Farrell, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's made a couple of mistakes as well. Here's Thackeray though. Through the hands it goes to Fieldhouse. That's great play from the Rams, and here's Fieldhouse plays the ball.
Unorthodox tackling by Hitchcock over the top there, but it was effective because it got Fieldhouse down, didn't it?
It did, and here's Seymour on that last tackle now. Conroy attacked him half-back. He's going to find Thackeray. Thackeray's going to put a kick towards the corner for Blackmore. Carl Price knocks it back. What's a comedy of errors. Carl Price knocks it back to Blackmore. Came off Blackmore's boot to Sykes, and in the end Sykes knocks it dead. What's the referee said here?
Drop out under the sticks, it is, Ben.
Out.
Yeah, it was almost like Harlem Globetrotters there, wasn't it? Carl Price easily beating Blackmore to the ball, which you would expect because he's such a tall guy. He battered it down, but Sykes came in brilliantly there to save the Dewsbury man touching down, and Martinet just knocking it out for the dropout.
So 30 seconds left on the clock. And Paul Sykes with the second dropout from Rovers today. This one's got a bit more height on it. It's taken by Thackeray. And here goes one of the Adamson brothers. Gets the offload away again to Thackeray. Thackeray moves that ball inside. But well wrapped up he was on that occasion by Brad England. Thackeray again. Seymour, Fieldhouse. Thackeray again. The Rams are very static at the moment, it has to be said.
Yeah, the Rovers defence just watching Thackeray there while he was going along the line, and some of the Rovers fans getting a bit impatient, but I think they felt as though they were in control there, just watching him.
And there is the half-time hooter.
Oh,
the referee's
penalty.
given a penalty for a hand in the tackle. So the Rams are going to take the 2 here, I fancy.
I'd guess that they would, yeah. That not a great penalty to give away on half-time, that was it. It was a hand in. Looks like that's why the ball came loose, and yeah, Dewsbury opting to take the 2.
Sensible play. You fancied the Rams would take the 2. And it does pull them back within 2 scores.
So, yeah, Brett Seymour with this kick just to the right of the posts.
Seymour has kicked it. The flags go up. So that is the half-time score. Rovers will be disappointed, but it's been a dream start for Rovers. In as early as the second minute with Ben Blackmore going on over and tight to the corner. Paul Sykes not able to convert before Maytua went over 8 minutes later, which Sykes could convert, followed shortly by, 20 minutes later by Gording. Rovers raced into a 14-0 lead. Then the Rams hit back with Adamson, converted by Seymour to make it 14-6. Then Will Milner showed a sublime step to dance through a gap, which Sykes converted his second of the afternoon. But Seymour converted a penalty on half-time. Joe, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, Featherstone certainly had the vast majority of the possession, didn't they, in that first half, and the percentage of possession. Got 20 points on the board as a result of that, and I think that's a fair reflection. I think the thing that Andy A will be looking at half-time is perhaps the couple of bits of indiscipline that's given Dewsbury those points. The first from the Ben Blackmore, where he had a second go in the tackle on Walshaw, which led them to have the attack that brought about their try. And then the second bit of indiscipline just on the half-time hooter there, where a hand in the tackle under the post as the half-time hooter went has resulted in them getting an extra 2 points. But the positives we should be focusing on are the speed and energy in the attack that's Featherstone have shown. The half-back combination again has been pretty good. Marginet has been very active in this first half, certainly, and Milner showed a lovely step as he went in for that try just before half-time. And I think he'll be saying, come on, let's do the same, but cut out the indiscipline in this second half.
Certainly, that's been a big problem for Rovers throughout the course of the season, has discipline. But Rovers have a big enough lead at half-time for that, hopefully for that 2 points not to matter. At half-time here at the Big Fellas Stadium, Rovers in front, it's Featherstone Rovers 20, Dewsbury Rams 8. Welcome back to the second half. Here at the Big Fellas Stadium, the Rams are out. Just as your Featherstone Rovers are coming out, led by the captain on the field now, Paul Sykes. Tim Spears currently on the bench. What are we expecting from the second half, Joe?
Hopefully more of the same with a bit more discipline as well, and let's pile them points on. I'm always a positive person.
I think that's going to be the key message from Andy Hay at half-time, has got to be the discipline, hasn't it? Letting those 8 points in from our own indiscipline will be disappointing for him.
Yeah, and the fact that Dewsbury hadn't had a great deal of possession and they still managed to get 8 points, a bit disappointing that, but the majority of that first half was really positive, and we'll be looking to capitalise on that, I'm sure, in this second half.
So there is the kick-off from Paul Sykes. Bounces awkwardly, it's taken eventually by Thackeray, but good defence from Hitchcox and Matua. So here are the Rams then, looking to try and work out from their own 20. Early set of this second half. Work through the hands, here's Byron Smith. That's a good run from Byron Smith. quicker play the balls already. You can see that from the Rams, Joe. They seem to want to sped up that play the ball, don't they?
Certainly are, yeah. It's a different team to the one that came out in the first half, isn't it? They're certainly...
Shai Hitchcock gets his man at the second attempt. And here's Thackeray now. Oh, Hardman, it's gone backwards, is it?
Oh, dear.
You don't often see that from Ian Hardman, to be fair, Joe. He's usually safe as houses under them.
It is, yeah. Ian at halfback, he's at full back. Ian Hardman there, he's usually really safe, like you say, but that ball was in the air for a very long time. As he was looking at it, I was thinking he doesn't look too confident there, and it's just gone straight through his hands. And Dewsbury have been rewarded for that very energetic start that they've just had with fast play of the balls with a scrum just short of the 10 metre.
Thackeray moves that ball out. That's good play from Shane Grady. Morton away to attacking half-back. He'll move that ball into Thackeray. Thackeray moves it on to Aaron Brown. See what Rovers' defence is like at the start of the second half then. Here's Thackeray. Is he over? He's over, you know. Anthony Thackeray is over. That's not what Rovers wanted at all. A dream start for the Rams at the start of the second half. Featherstone Rovers 20, Dewsbury Rams 12.
Yeah, Dewsbury have come out in this second half, as we've just been mentioning there, looking full of energy. They've obviously had a really good half-time team talk. They've been playing the ball very quickly, putting the Featherstone defence on the back foot, and that's what didn't happen in the first half. And they were rewarded with that Ian Hardman rare error. That scrum was taken just shy of the 10 metre line, and they've looked dangerous in the two tackles that led to that. And then Thackeray found himself, there was a bit of a gap there on the goal line from the Rovers defence, and his Hitchcock's I thought had come off with a good try-saving tackle, but it wasn't to be, and Thackeray's ended up going over with 3 defenders on him.
So Brett Seymour has converted. That's not the start that Rovers will have wanted in the start of this second half at all. Letting the Rams back in with possession. An early score. The Rams have done to the Rovers what Rovers did in that first half. There's the kick-off from Sykes. Taken well by Thackeray, who moves that ball inside. Rovers still in control. They just need to get back to what they're doing well in the first half, don't we?
Need a good defensive set here, don't we, of this 6, and start to show Dewsbury who's boss again, I think.
Here's Byron Smith with the offload. You can see the confidence in the Rams play. That's superb. Just beyond the break, it's Adamson. Well tackled though by Matua and Hartman. Thackeray again. Through a gap almost. It's well tackled though by Brad England. The Rams are up to the 20.
This is a different Dewsbury side that's come out this second half, isn't it? And this is the Dewsbury side that's been just going for that top 4 spot all season.
This is the last tackle, says the referee. So Thackeray's going to have to kick. Has Blackmore under this one. It's taken by Price. The Rams over? No. Rovers defence on that occasion holds out. Blackmore in the tackle. Cording in the tackle.
Sykes in the tackle, looks to have got a little bit injured there.
I think that's a bit of gamesmanship maybe from Sykes, although he's holding his shoulder as well.
Yeah, looks to have injured his right shoulder, but he's back in the line, isn't he? But yeah, we escaped there, I think, and they are utilising Carl Price's size out there with those kicks, and he easily got to that, but Cording and Sykes' tackle were good.
It was a great tackle to hold him out, and here goes Ben Blackmore now. Will Sharp waits, attacked in half-back. The old 1-2 from the wingers again. See, so many times from Rovers, you'll see one then the other. And here goes Jack Bussey from Acton half-back. That's a great run from Bussey. That's fantastic from Bussy. Still going Bussy. He's made fully 40 metres there. He wanted the support, he's tired himself out. And I'm sorry, but that's not the best from Marginet.
That was a really poor option from Remy Marginet there. I'm not sure what he was thinking, and it's not what we needed at that point in the game neither, when we just got the possession back. And Jack Bussey's just done a barnstorming run. And I was about to say, he sensibly hung on to the ball as well.
There is a penalty there for a high tackle by Jack Bussey. Bussey's stayed down himself for a minute.
Yeah, swung one there on Joel Farrell, didn't he? And missed, I think, because Joel Farrell seemed to duck, but he's ended up injuring himself.
Referee has stopped the clock.
Not sure if it's his left eye. He's getting attention
Looks
to there. Certainly around his eye area. But yeah, what a run from him there. But yeah, Marginet, not what we wanted, just when you're getting the possession back.
So the Rams with the tails up, trail by 6 at the minute, with 6 minutes into the second half. There's the tap, and here come the Rams again. Here's Farrell. Good defence from Rovers. Brad England involved again.
Luke Cooper came in there and made sure that Farrell was put down on the floor. And again, brilliant tackle from
Cooper's
Cooper.
Forced a mistake.
Yeah.
That is excellent work from Luke Cooper. A superb tackle. And actually forcing the ball loose as well and giving Rovers possession back.
Yeah, his teammates are giving him big raps there, and I'm not surprised, because that's the sort of play that you want, that can sort of turn the game back around for you. And Luke Cooper had come up with a good tackle on the first one, and then the second one he really went for it and made them lose possession, and we've ended up with that scrum now, and we needed that.
Rovers just need to get an element of control back in the game at the moment. Here's Ben Blackmore. The Rams have certainly been the more dominant team at the start of the second half. Jack Bussey finds Luke Cooper now.
And you would have expected Dewsbury to come out like this in the second half, wouldn't you? You know, they've got nothing to lose in this second half, but it's up to how Featherstone Rovers manage this pressure.
It's been put down by Paul Sykes again. That's the difference between Carl Price now and maybe Carl Price 10 years ago. A few years ago, Carl Price would have picked that up and been under the sticks.
Yeah, it was a really dangerous position there that Paul Sykes lost the ball. Carl Price picked it up. Dewsbury is still looking dangerous here, though.
Here's Thackeray now. Well wrapped up by Matua. Cooper again. Seymour for a gap. Thackeray. Seymour works that ball out to that left-hand side. It's Aaron Brown trying to spin away, still going Brown, but good defence from Rovers on that occasion. From acting half of the Rams over? No, they're not. That's the last. So Rovers goal line defence there is alert. And here's Joel Farrell now. Here's Seymour. He's going to kick. That's easily enough taken. And once again, the Rams are forced to drop out, have they? What's the referee saying here? I think it is a drop out.
Yeah.
Luke Cooper's coming off, and I'll tell you something, Joey. In his stint here, been absolutely outstanding for Rovers.
He has, yeah. Jordan Baldwinson returning to the field, though, so it's fantastic that we have an interchange like that, into Cooper for Baldwinson, and Tim Spears has just returned to the field as well.
And it's Rennie Matua who's come off. So Rennie Matua maybe is a well-earned breather. Rovers have certainly got the options in the team. So it is going to be another dropout for Rovers. 10 minutes gone in the second half. The Rams have the only score. It's Featherstone Rovers 20, Dewsbury Rams 14. That's taken by Dale Morton, who returns it well. Gets the Rams up to 30. But what a drive back from Rovers.
Yeah, Foster and Hitchcock's.
Here's one of the Adamson brothers. It's Toby. Thackeray shows an outrageous dummy. Puts it over for Shane Grady. That is fantastic from Anthony Thackeray. Hats off and credit where it's due. The Rams have come out a totally different team. Anthony Thackeray shows an outrageous dummy, then goes through a gap. Gets the offload away to Shane Grady. Grady able to get that ball down. The Rams are back to within 2. Featherstone Rovers 20, Dewsbury Rams 18.
Yeah, what amazing play by Thackeray there. He's a talented player, Anthony Thackeray, and he's the kind of scrum half that can create from anything, and he certainly did there. Sort of 15 metres out, just threw the dummy there and went through a gap. I think he could have gone himself actually to score, but unselfishly passed to Grady, who went over. And Brett Seymour's looking here to level the scores with 12 minutes gone of the second half.
3 from 3 for Brett Seymour so far this afternoon. This by far his most difficult kick, though. This is on the wrong side for him. Looking to use the wind. That is a superb conversion from Seymour. The score's a level. Game on. It's Featherstone 20, Dewsbury 20.
Yeah, it's Featherstone Rovers' turn now to see they're taking this kick off, and it's up to them now to see how they react to this. It's the Dewsbury have come out on fire. They've levelled the scores. It's up to us to see, to show what we've got in our reserves, to see what we can do, whether we can score next. I mean, we really do need to score next here, I'd say.
The Rams have certainly got the momentum at the moment. There's the kick-off. It's taken by juggled by Thackeray, but it holds on. Rovers just need to tighten up. Hopefully the introduction of Baldwinson and Tim Spears can bring a bit of steel. And that's great from Rovers, forcing the Rams into touch, and that's just what we needed, Joe.
Certainly is, yeah. Dewsbury making the error this time, and it's the first error they've made this second half, and they had a total mix-up there. Ball went free and picked it up and ended up being bundled into touch. So Featherstone in a good position here, and it looks like Andy Ellis is returning to the fray soon as well. Not for this play, but perhaps for the next one. And we've got the scrum there, about 20 metres out from the Dewsbury line.
It's Jack Bussey who's come off for Andy Ellis. So I fancy Marginet will move back into the house.
Yeah, Jack Bussey's returned from injury, hasn't he? So he was probably not going to do a massive stint today.
Here's Ian Hartman. Here are Rovers now with Brad England. 15 metres out. Centre field, Ellis. To Marginet. Marginet is going to switch the direction. He's going to find Brad England. England again to Marginet. Marginet with a looping pass out to Will Sharp.
Yeah, I don't think Will Sharp had anywhere to go there except inside, so he just stepped inside and got
Milner's
tackled.
Going to try and put a kick through. It's a poor option in the end. And the Rams able to break away with Toby Adamson. Here's Grady now.
Forward.
That's a super pass from Grady. And the Rams are over. Dewsbury Rams are over with Adam Brown under the sticks. What a return from that play. It was a poor option from Milner. It was trapped by the Rams. Picked up, and it was a great break from Adamson first of all. Then an inside pass it was to Adam Brown. Brown broke down that centre field with a clear run. Over under the sticks, and Rovers are in trouble. Featherstone 20, Dewsbury Rams 24.
Yeah, that came from the kick from Milner there, didn't it? And the trouble is, if you're going to do a little kick like that, you don't do it to the opposition's feet when you haven't got any defence behind you. And Dewsbury came away with the ball. Featherstone defence was broken, and Grady made that final pass, I think it was, to Aaron Brown, who raced away to score. I'm not sure about the pass though. I wouldn't mind having a look at that again. It was certainly a very flat pass to Brown.
It
Seymour with an easy conversion attempt as well now under the sticks.
Seymour kicks it, so the Rams from being 20 points to 8 down at half time within 15 minutes have turned this game on its head. It's Featherstone Rovers 20, Dewsbury Rams 26.
Certainly been a game of two halves so far, hasn't it? And let's hope that's not the final result. But yeah, it's time for Featherstone to step up to the plate now. We've gone behind. There's still plenty of time to rescue this game.
It's not over by any means, but Rovers, the Rams halfbacks, Thackeray and Seymour in particular, have really, well, they were almost redundant in that first half, Joe. They've come out and they've taken this game by the scruff of the neck.
They have, and our halfbacks have been taking the wrong options in this second half, with Marginet with that poor kick earlier on, and then Milner there with that kick that went straight into to return possession to Dewsbury in a not a great position. So yeah, we've been making the poor choices this second half, and Dewsbury has certainly been making all the right choices. And
for the referees given crossing there. Rovers will breathe a huge sigh of relief there, because I rather fancy Shane Grady was away then.
Yeah, it was the right decision. That it was the play just before it went out to Grady. There was certainly some obstruction there, and the referee or the touch judge have spotted it and given the penalty. So let's see what we can do with his set of 6. We certainly need to be putting pressure on and hopefully either getting some points from the end of it or a repeat set of 6.
They need to keep the control of set as well, the Rovers. No need to panic at the minute. Here's Baldwinson. He only knows how one way to go, and that's forward. Andy Ellis now looking to direct things from acting halfback. Milner takes on the line himself. Gets the offload away to Ellis. It's gone backwards, so Brad England picks up. Rovers don't need to panic at the minute, do we, Joe? We're in a great position here.
Yeah, forcing the pass a little bit there. It could have gone anywhere, and luckily we have come back up with the possession, but it wasn't controlled.
Hartman! It's Paul Sykes! Rovers have hit back! Just what we needed! It was a great move from acting halfback. Ellis found Marginet. Marginet moving it out to the right-hand side to Hartman. Hartman timed the pass to perfection to Paul Sykes. Over 10 metres in from touch. What a game we've got of the big fellas. Featherstone Rovers 24, Dewsbury Rams 26. It's Jamie Gording actually. My apologies, I thought it was Sykes from the distance.
It was Paul Sykes, was that? Yes, most definitely Paul Sykes, yeah. Yeah, it was a beautiful little control pass, wasn't it? Layoff pass from Hartman there to Sykes, who ran onto it so well, like you say, beautifully timed. And I was just saying that set of 6, we wanted to score something from the end of it, and we certainly have done, and that's what we needed to do to put the stop to this Dewsbury juggernaut that's been coming to us in this second half. I just noticed Jordan Baldwinson, after that try was scored, telling his team to calm down, you know, and for a young lad, that's really sensible advice.
Shows great maturity for his age. He's such a good player, is Jordan Baldwinson, and the way he controls the game as well. He's one of those players, if you want someone just to do the right things and calm it down, he knows the right time to drive in, and he knows the right time to play.
He does, yeah. Paul Sykes with an important kick here. Oh,
it's hit the post again.
Yeah, Paul Sykes there hitting the right hand upright this time, and yeah, these conversion attempts can be quite costly in a tight game like this.
So the Rams hold the narrowest of leads. Featherstone Rovers 24, Dewsbury Rams 26. I don't know what it is. I don't think Paul Sykes likes kicking on this field, Joe.
No, he's missed a few.
But Rovers back within 2, and there's still 20 minutes on the clock. Get an element of control back in the play. Martinet takes that ball. And here's the return from Brad England. Rovers don't need to do anything stupid. Ellis takes on that line himself. So Martinet moves in. Martinet finds Baldwinson. There's one of those runs we've just mentioned about it. The offload was on that time to Ellis, so Baldwinson does it.
Yeah, lovely offload there.
Here's Cording. Paul Sykes again on the edge. He's through a gap almost. Cut down though by Carl Price, who has a second go. Here's Cording. Well wrapped up though by Toby Adamson. Ellis. Martinet.
Last.
It's a dink over the top. That's a great kick, is it? Yes, it is. Just the right side of the corner flag, Joe. That is a kick to perfection.
It is. He did a few of those at Odsal on Wednesday night. These lovely measured kicks that just slip into the touch just short of that corner flag, and that means that Dewsbury have to bring it away from the scrum on their own 10 metres, and that's the sort of place where you're needing them to be, and it's up to the Rovers defence now to keep them down to that end of the field.
It's one thing I've said to Joe, and I've heard other people say it a few times. The other Joe, not you. Said to young Joe. I've noticed a lot of times from scrums as Carl Price tries that ball in, no fullback from the scrum defensive line on the scrum. How many times do you see teams don't opt for the kick and chase when it's always on?
Don't take advantage of it. I guess it's a bit of a risky thing to do, isn't it, from that area of the field though, when you're wanting to retain possession.
Here are the Rams though. Wild it is who plays the ball, and there's that kick. Ian Hardman uses his chest and then able to take that ball, and it's a good return. 17 minutes left here at the Big Fellas Stadium. Will Milner moves in, attacks in half-back. He'll play that ball to Sharp. As Ryan Verlinden is back on for Rovers, and it's Brad England who's come off.
Rayleigh Matua comes on as well for Jamie Cording.
So a double change for Rovers. Here is Verlinden. There's that aggression. Says to Adam Brown, get out of the way. That's what Rovers need, is someone to take that ball forward like Ryan Verlinden just did then.
Yeah, I'm guessing Andy Hale has said, look, Ryan, there's 16 minutes left, go out there and bust a gut.
A kick for the corner from Martinet. It holds up, does it? No, it's just going to run dead, so that's, again, an almost perfect kick, and the Rams have another scrum down, heading feed on the 10. But Ryan Verlinden, what a run that was. He said to Adam Brown, get yourself there, get out of the way. And the Rovers fans behind the sticks trying to lift the team.
And the ones in the community stand as well are, and that was something that Andy A has been saying, isn't it? You know, the home crowd, we need them to be loud and behind the team like they were at Odsal on Wednesday night.
So here are the Rams then, trying to work out from their own 20. Rovers need a big defensive set here. Keep the Rams here, keep the discipline. Force the Rams to kick from deep, and here's Shane Grady. Dewsbury on their own 40-metre area now. Up to halfway. Some flat passes, shall we say. There's a kick from Thackeray, though he's aiming for the goalpost. He's not going to find it. That's going to run dead. Some borderline passing there from the Rams. Ian Hardman's going to take that tap himself and take the first drive in. makes 5 metres before he's tackled by that Rams defence.
Yeah, I think a few of the Rovers crowd were shouting forward, but to me they looked fine. They were just quite flat passes, those.
Will Sharp makes 10 metres for his push back and held. Here's Verlinden again. That's what we need from Ryan Verlinden at the moment, running it in with such aggression. And here's Baldwinson's turn now.
What we need, a quick play of the balls as well to get Dewsbury on that back foot.
Marginet.
Oh, that's not what we need.
A mixed afternoon from Paul Sykes, I think. He's looked good in areas, but in other areas as well, Joe. His control of the ball, his goal kicking as well. If he'd kicked his goals, Rovers would be in front now.
They certainly would, and that wasn't great from Paul Sykes. He wasn't really under pressure to take that ball and just put it to ground, and that's a place where Featherstone would be wanting to complete that set of 6, not to turn the ball over. So Dewsbury have got a scrum sort of 5 metres short of the halfway line in their own half, but they've soon made that advantage by a great run there. I can't quite see who it is.
It's Lucas Walshaw with the drive. And here are the Rams now. Just short of the Rovers 30. It's my apologies, it's Scott Hale now. The Rams are up to the 20. Seymour finds Thackeray. Fieldhouse chimes into that line. Well held though by Rovers. It was Hitchcock's with that tackle. Here's the big man.
Looking so dangerous at Dewsbury near this Featherstone Rovers line now, aren't they?
Indeed, and Wild is back on. Here's Thackeray with a crossfield kick towards Carl Price. That's out on the full though. They will be disappointed with that one. What an opportunity that was for the Rams to utilise the size of Carl Price on that wing. But the kick just too deep and out on the full.
Yeah, they're fancying Carl Price against Ben Blackmore, aren't they? And keep putting the kicks out there. But yeah, it was a poor kick. But the wind seems to have got up a little bit as well, doesn't it, this last 5 minutes? We've got some dark clouds coming in. I think we might be heading for a downpour, and maybe the kick was just misjudged by the wind there.
So Rovers looking to work out from around 20. A penalty would be a very nice place, Mr. Bentham. Here's Reddy Matua. Gets Rovers just short of the 40. Verlinden is missed out. It's been a proverbial game of 2 halves. This Rovers in so much control in that first half, Joe, and the Rams looking completely out of sorts, and it's an almost full swing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as if the teams have switched skills at half time, isn't it? You know, the Featherstone Rovers completely dominant in that first half. And we've got a charge down here.
But good defence from Rovers to tackle back. But the Rams have got another set now on the Rovers line. Here's Aaron Brown, takes on that line.
Yeah, Featherstone really under the cosh here, aren't they?
Seymour finds Luke Adamson. That ball's come loose. Rovers have got it back. Joe breathes the huge sigh of relief at the side of me. There's no advantage from the free play, so it's going to be a scrum head and feed.
Need to pack down quickly. We've only got 12 minutes left now, and we're 2 points behind. We need to be, and the referee stopped the clock, so that's good. We've got a scrum on our own 10 metre. We've got a long way to go to that try line, as that rain that I promised has started to come down.
Indeed it has.
Makes for an interesting last 12 minutes if we're going to get a bit of a downpour.
Here's Hitchcock's. Ben Blackmore looking to scoot away. This is where it becomes a bit of a lottery in these conditions, Joe. The rain coming down. That ball's very soon going to be like a bar of slope. Here's Verlinden.
That's a good quick play the ball from Verlinden. That's what we need.
Ellis gets up to the 40. Marginet now. Will Milner, Hardman. Gets Rovers over halfway, offloads to Matua. Matua hands off one, still going. Matua gets over the 40, that's fantastic. Eventually wrapped up by Grady.
Need a good kick here from Marginet.
It's off the side of the boot.
That was a poor kick that on the last. I was just saying we need a good kick from Marginet, and he put an absolute howler up in the air there. Alex Foster ended up knocking it on, and Dewsbury get the return of ball now to bring it away.
Here are the Rams on halfway now.
Yeah, Walshaw's been good, hasn't he? He's a strong player, very tall, and he's been good.
Here are the Rams. Through the hands it goes. Here's the big man. The ball's knocked on. That really is what Rovers need. Pats on the back. Get that scrum set, boys. Never mind passing each other on the back.
They have done.
Get the scrum set, then you can pass each other on the back.
Baldwinson, Verlinden there, yeah.
10 minutes left here at the Big Fella Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 24, Dewsbury Rams 26. If Rovers come out of this with the 2 points in hand, Joe, they'll know they've been in a battle.
Yeah. To be honest, though, it's about winning. You don't have to do it pretty. You just have to get those 2 points, and that's what we need from today's game. As I said at the beginning, we need to back up that fantastic victory against Bradford on Wednesday night with a victory today. And you've got to wonder how much that will have taken out of this side.
Tim Spears is back on for Rovers. He'll try and bring some calm onto that play. Milner. Marginet to Hardman.
That's nice.
That's better running from Rovers. Better lines run there.
Just got over the halfway line there.
Marginet again finds Verlinden again. Taking that ball in well. Ryan Verlinden. Hold on to it. You don't need to do anything silly. He looked for a second like we were going to try and offload. Baldwinson does well to get out of the way of that pass. Matua hits the gap.
Oh, yes.
Offloads to Andy Ellis. But what a tackle that was by Matty Wildy. Here's Matua again.
No,
it's an intercept.
Hardman's not
from
going to catch
Anthony Thackeray.
Anthony Thackeray with an interception there. Rennie Matua went to pass the ball. We were lucky to press for that try. Anthony Thackeray has just plucked it out of the air and raced down the field to score that try under the sticks and possibly put this game to bed now. Rovers were under pressure to force that pass, I think, weren't they? But not the best there from Rennie. He won't want to see that again, I don't think. And Hardman, you knew that Hardman weren't going to be able to chase Thackeray down. He was having to race from across the field to get to him, and Thackeray was just too fast.
Once again, is it the curse of the Big Fella Stadium is hitting Featherstone Rovers this season. Featherstone Rovers 24, Dewsbury Rams 30 with a conversion to come. Rovers this season have dropped so many points here this season against the big teams, yet they're unbeaten away from home.
I know. We need to play away from home every week, don't we?
Ryan Hepworth comes off for a well-earned breather for the Rams. And Brett Seymour converts that, so the Rams have a 2-score lead with 8.5 minutes on the clock. Featherstone Rovers 24, Dewsbury Rams 32.
Yeah, and Dewsbury have put 24 points on in this second half, haven't they? And that's been the story, really, hasn't it? That we've allowed them to come back at us like this. We knew that we'd be going up that slope in this second half, and they did come out on fire, did Dewsbury, but my gosh. That's a good
Rovers have got it back! Rovers have got it back! Marginet, what a tackle!
Great short kick-off there, caused Dewsbury all sorts of problems.
Tim Spears now.
Come on, quick try.
Rovers are 5 metres away. Ellis for the line. And Marginet moves in. Marginet! He's over! Rovers have hit straight back! Featherstone Rovers have hit straight back under the sticks! We're not giving this one up! Featherstone Rovers 28, Dewsbury Rams 32.
The Featherstone Rovers, sponsored by Real Trouble. Number 31, René Marginet.
Paul Sykes has kicked the goal. There's 7 minutes left on the clock. There's 2 points in it again. Hang on to your hats, folks. We're in for a barnstorming 7 minutes. Featherstone Rovers 30. Dewsbury Rams 32.
Oh yes, we needed a quick response there, and we certainly got that quick response, didn't we? And it's game on. Come on, Featherstone Rovers. 2 points in it here. Dewsbury taking an age to take this kick-off. Phil Bentham has stopped the clock.
Score sheet is he using? I would love to know what score sheet he is using. How is it 26? Have I missed something somewhere, John? If that is the score at 32-26, then the Rams... It is 30.
Changed it back again.
There's 5.5 minutes on the clock. Here's Matua.
Anyway, there's 2 points in it, and we need to win.
Ellis, Milner, Baldwinson. That's a good run from Baldwinson. It's the last tackle though. How's the kick margin? It's central. It's going to turn Fieldhouse round, is it?
Chase here.
It is a great chase here. And Rovers, whatever you do, no penalties now. Keep the Rams where they are.
Need a big defensive set here. Keep them up that end of the field. Turn the ball over. Let's get back up there, lads. Come on. We're watching him. Come on.
Someone get hold of Dale Morton, please. Thackeray takes control of that play of the ball. That ball's come loose. What's the referee giving here?
Ryan Verlinden could be in a lot of trouble here. I think he's off the field. Oh, he's got a yellow.
It didn't look to be a spear tackle though. He didn't go above the horizontal for me. It was just a forceful tackle putting him down on the ground.
It was certainly a forceful tackle, but I think he has. I think he's landed on his head, unfortunately, as the Dewsbury player. I can't quite see who it is down there. He's getting some medical attention. The medical staff are trying to keep him still while they assess him, but he's trying to get up. It's Adamson.
It's Luke Adamson.
Luke Adamson, isn't it? I think what Verlinden was attempting to do there, to be fair to him, was to pick him up and dump him on his back. Difficult to see, got it a little bit wrong. Adamson's ended up going on his head. I think it'll certainly be referred to the RFL disciplinary to see what they decide for that one. But he's off the field for the remainder of the game. Phil Bentham showing him the yellow card. So Rovers down to 12. They're going to have to do it tough. The rain is coming down in buckets at the moment.
And I've left my coat at home.
Luckily we're under the gantry at the minute, but yeah, 2009 at the Big Fella Stadium, so pretty good attendance.
as Adamson is still receiving treatment.
Adamson's back on his feet, so that's good to see, but he doesn't know really where he is at all. Be taken from the field of play. Some of the Dewsbury directors weren't very happy with that tackle from Verlinden, certainly at the back of us here.
It's Farrell who's come back on. That could work in Rovers' advantage after the game he's had so far today.
It could, but we've only got just under 5 minutes left, and Dewsbury have got that penalty, and it's going to bring them down the field, taking the tap on the Rovers 30-metre line. It's at the wrong end of the field for us, isn't it?
It certainly is. How we'd love an intercept right now, please. Wildy moves that ball inside to Byron Green. A try here for the Rams, and it is game over. Wildy again finds Grady. What a tackle that was from Milner. Thackeray.
Oh, there we
Byron
go.
Smith has put it down.
Pack the scrum quickly.
He's
boys.
penalised. Oh, a penalty for Featherstone.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bentham. We will take that one. Yes, please.
An offside decision there, I think, wasn't it?
I don't care what it's for, but we'll take it.
We need to be mindful of this weather and keep hold of that ball. They'll be going for some big hits, or Dewsbury, to try and dislodge it in this weather. We need to keep hold of that ball and get to the right end of the field for us to get the points on.
Here's Matua.
Tim Spears is off and Jack Buss is on for these last 3 minutes.
An early kick from Marginet. What are you doing? That is just totally the wrong option. You could see what he was trying to do. Utilise the pace of Blackmore over on that wing. But the execution was all wrong, Joe.
Yeah, I think all we can hope for here is that let's get this scrum packed and hope that Dewsbury come up with an error, because, you know, we've made some metres up the field there. Perhaps not the best kick there from Marginet, but with this ball being so wet, Dewsbury could actually spill it.
Luke Adamson has come off. Just under 3 minutes left here at the Big Fella Stadium. It's a 2-point game, folks. Anyone scores again, and I fancy that's game over. Hitchcock's with a great tackle there on Farrell.
I think we're going to have some slow play the balls here from Dewsbury.
Here's Dale Morton. They don't need to do anything silly. We'll just have some lightning. Lightning at the Big Fella Stadium.
Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening.
Byron Smith trying to steal a couple of yards. Here's Thackeray.
That's a good kick.
Nice touch. He knows what he's doing, as Anthony Thackeray, doesn't he? Thunder and lightning at the Big Fella Stadium.
And we're stood on a metal gantry holding electrical equipment. Wonderful. Health and safety.
Just while we've got a break in play, Joe, it's been an entertaining match, to say the least. A great first half from Rovers, a great second half from the Rams. As here's Will Milner, but who's your man of the match?
Oh gosh, well, my man of the match today, I think it would have to go to one of the forwards. I don't think, if Luke Cooper had done more minutes, I'd have said Luke Cooper. For me, just for the amount of metres that he's done and the hard work he's put in, I'd say Jordan Baldwinson. Jack Bussey there put a lovely few metres in there, but unfortunately he's knocked it on in the tackle. Hardly surprising when it's been under these conditions, but
and I think that might be the game.
That's the game slipped away from Featherstone, I'd imagine.
Literally. The ball slipping out to his grass as the game slips away from Jack Bussey. But Jordan Baldwinson, did we say that?
I'd say Jordan Baldwinson, yes.
An outstanding performance from Baldwinson. And what has been probably a disjointed is probably the best way you can put it for Rovers. The Rams aren't going to do anything silly here.
Oh, maybe they are.
They've put it down. Dewsbury put it down. What's he saying here? First knock on.
That could go against us, that. No,
it's gone for us. We've got a minute on the clock. And I will say it now, Joe. I said it earlier on. You don't see it from the base for scrum, but if you're going to try it ever, now is the time. There's no wingers back. There's no fullback. Kick it over the top.
And
go
there
for
he
it.
goes. There you go. Come on.
The game's already lost. What have you got to lose?
Exactly. Will Milner did that. Thackeray taking absolute age to play the ball.
Obstruction there.
I thought it was a bit of obstruction. Is he running behind his players?
Here's Farrell. This is massive in terms of the middle eights for Rovers. Just what they did at once after two excellent performances away from home.
Yeah, the Halifax and Sheffield fans will be rubbing their hands with this result, won't they? And it's one of those results. It's the banana skin after that fantastic performance on Wednesday night that we've ended up slipping on. And yeah, we needed the 2 points from this. Like I said, this.
There goes the final hooter. What a game it's been here at the Big Fella Stadium. It started off so well for Rovers, racing into a 14-0 lead after tries from Blackmore, Matua and Cording. Crucially, only one of those tries converted by Paul Sykes. Adamson hit back 2 tries towards the end of that first half from the Rams. For Adamson, first of all, before Will Milner made it 20 points to 6. In the second half, a total turnaround. Tries after a straight first set from Anthony Thackeray, converted by Seymour. Thackeray again over for his second again, converted by Seymour. Before Aaron Brown over gave the Rams the lead for the first time. Paul Sykes then went over for a try himself, which once again he couldn't convert. Then Thackeray over himself for a try at the death. Margin are able to pull it back to 2 points, but just not enough for Rovers in the end. Down to defeat again, Joe, and we can't afford that. So full-time score here at the Big Fella Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 30. Dewsbury Rams 32. Andy, Featherstone 30, Dewsbury Rams 32. A big disappointment after Wednesday night.
Yeah, definitely. We've been on a high after the Bradford game, and the guys were focused before the game, and it's a little bit of fatigue in training yesterday, but they turned up and the warm-up was great and the talk was great and the enthusiasm. But I thought in the first half we didn't take our opportunities, and we ended up defending a lot more than we should have done, which hasn't helped. It hasn't helped. We've had to back up, and real disappointing effort. We knew what we needed to do in the game, and thought we started off and we're doing that comfortably. And I don't think it was the smartest game we've played. I thought a gutsy effort from the 17 players, but we'll stick together. Quite a few of them haven't performed to the standard we need.
14 points to 0 up in the first half, and then 20 points to 6 up, and then 8 points conceded in 3 minutes either side of half time. Gave you a difficult job in the second half. Yeah, and
some of that you're going to have to look at as fatigue, and some of it's again, I don't think controlling the ball and not playing smart enough, not defending well. Credit to Dewsbury, they put it on us in the second half. I thought we were poor right from the kick-off. We didn't defend the ball. It went short and we didn't get to it. We didn't get our numbers across. We opened some spaces up, and their play of the ball got too quick, and they made us pay for that. And on the back of that, then we made some poor defensive reads. So even the try in the first half, I thought it was a poor defensive read, and we need to fix that up. But there's some stuff there which is uncharacteristic for some players. But again, I thought they put the hand up and had a dig, and right up until the end we were back in the game and thought we were going to pinch the win. But with about 8 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, we maybe started panicking, and some of our kicking options weren't right.
Did you obviously now have dropped out of the top four? Halifax have won today. It gives us a difficult job, and you think we've still got to go to Leigh and we've still got to go to Sheffield. Can we make the top four?
Yeah, I think that Halifax result's not done us any favours today, but we've got to believe as a group. We talked about in there, and it's just made the job harder. We've got to win 3 from 3 now to guarantee anything, and that probably still doesn't guarantee it. It might go down to other games and other fixtures, but it's up to us to win. And you're right, it starts with Leigh next week. We've got to go on our travels to Leigh and pick up some points.
What positives can you take out of today's game?
Not many, really. Not many. I think it's come at the wrong time for us, the group. Probably the positives are we've got Woody back next week. We'll probably have Gazmore back and Cookie back and some other players, and we'll go and challenge Leigh. And the guys have felt what it feels like to lose out on a game there. You'd think they lost the grand final in the change rooms, but we've got 3 games to go, and we're going to go down fighting.
Standout performances for you from today's match?
Don't know really. I thought Jack Bussey made a good impact. I thought Jordan Baldwinson put a good stint in, although he's carrying an injury from Wednesday night, and we needed him as a front rower. Not so sure about many of the other boys, and I thought we were a little bit off, and some of that's fatigue, and some of it's down to what we did in the game. But we'll stick together, and we'll be in tomorrow and training, getting the recovery stuff done and the rehab and the physio treatment. We'll lighten up and be ready for Leigh.
Can you give us any other injury news after today's match?
No, I think most of the guys are not so bad. Nothing serious. They're just some bumps and bruises. So everybody came off more fatigued than injured.
Can we expect many changes for next week at Leigh?
There'll be a few. We'll have a look at Woody in training. He's dying to get back in the team and have a game. Obviously, there's Cookie and Gazmore. We'll see what they do, and we'll have a good look. And we've got 3 or 4 days of training before that, so I'm sure we'll know by Saturday.
Just moving away from today's match, just for a moment, Will Milner's signed a 3-year contract with FULL80. How big do you think he could do well there?
I think you mean Thomas Mins. So, yeah, I think he'll be an asset to FULL80 as any team is going to play in, because he can play anywhere in the sort of 3 quarters and the full back position, and he's just he's a good player, he's a good character, he's good to have around the group, and we've missed him today a little bit, I thought, on the edge, and it's disappointing. We can't keep all the players like that, but it's also it's great for them. He's going to go to Super League. Hopefully he gets a start and he can play, and he becomes a regular over there. And I'm sure he will. He's a quality player.
Looking ahead to next week at Leigh, obviously still unbeaten away from home if you take out Summerbash. We mentioned it, touched on it on Wednesday night. So is there a different mentality away from home than down here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought the crowd were good today. I thought they got behind us, and we probably didn't live up to that. But it's going to be a tough game at Leigh. The Summerbash was a tough game, and this one will be. And we need to go there with some confidence, play some football.
Andy, thanks for your time.
No worries. Cheers.